One. All righty. All right. First episode of Happy Hours with Italy Jet on everything NYJ. I'm your host, Gino Pagano. And with me is so explain your podcast again.
Take flight talk, baby. You know, the Jets,
Love
they
it.
say take flight. That's one of the biggest hashtags. And we got your co-pilots here of the take flight talk. It is James Woody and Fitz. We out here. That's what we're doing. That's the only thing we talk about is the flight that the Jets are taking, no matter how high or low they fly in.
If you like two old friends screaming at one another, disagreeing about pretty much whatever we've got to say, you guys are going to love Take Flight Talk. I can tell you what.
And I was on your guys' podcast last week, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed your guys' energy. Really enjoyed what you guys have and are bringing to the table. Now, I think everyone wants to know, and I want to know, how did you guys meet? How long you've been friends for, and how did this podcast come to life?
Oh,
I want Woody to tell this story. So I'll give the quick background. We went to high school with one another. He was a grade above me. He was the party animal, and
I don't know about all that. Maybe.
and I was the party apprentice. And and we tore up the streets of Yorktown. But I'm going to let Woody fill in the gaps of how we reconnected here recent.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely had some tremendous times in high school, college. You know, shout out to SUNY Cortland. Had some good times there. Life happened. Your 20s hit and all that, and then really just trying to talk about this love. We've had love for the Jets for all this time. People like he said, it's a little bit of a party scene in our lives. So eventually it was like, you know what, maybe other people would want to hear what we have to say. And
Right.
I actually started on a venture to create Side to Side Sports, where we talk about the ringside, court side, sidelines, all that. So we talk about that. And Fitch was like, you know what, that's all well and cool, but we need to know how I feel, how he feels about this new JD Salah tandem. So that's why we're here today. We started playing around with it a little bit last year. We had some runs last year under the Side to Side brand, but now we have branched out. We have branched out. We have climbed out of that nest, and now we are flying. Take flight talk. We are our own brand, baby. Still rocking with Side to Side, but we're our own brand, trying to do what we can.
Man, I love that. I love that. I love the energy you guys have. And honestly, I think overall, going into your podcast for 30 minutes, 30 minutes with you guys, your guys' connection and how far you guys go back, you guys feed off of one another really well in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's obsessed with me. It's crazy.
You could definitely tell the chemistry already. So if you guys don't mind, if I ask, side to side, right? Side to side, is that your what do you guys talk about on side to side?
So that was really a focus on NBA, NFL, and then the ringside. We were covering a little bit of pro wrestling, a little bit of MMA. So we were trying to cover all sides of sports. And we were still working on getting people for all those sports they play outdoors for the outside. But that was, weekly podcast. We got the website going, side to sidesports.com. That's still where I post my Woody 3 articles. So if you Jets fans out there want to know how I'm feeling, what I'm looking at this Sunday, any Sunday about the Jets, definitely go on side to sidesports.com. You can read my articles. I mean, anybody there or any Jet fan that's also a pro wrestling fan, I still, also talk a whole bunch of crap there about what's going on in the pro wrestling world as well. So that's really what it was. It was me and a different gentleman, Will, just trying to talk, the sports that we were most passionate about and bringing fans on and all that. Like, we got a little nation brewing there. But
I love it.
Well, Gino, he might be, pretty obnoxious, but I believe it or not, the guy's actually a tremendous writer. And I hate to give him credit for anything, But these Woody 3 articles he writes, they're well thought out and got a good amount of humor in there. Classic Woody. So definitely recommend checking those out.
Man, that's awesome. I love hearing stuff like that. And I have read one of your articles, Woody. I'm very impressed. I like what you do with that. I have a soccer show coming out later this year on another channel, and I've always been a soccer guy, a football, soccer, and hockey. I played them all throughout my teens and stuff, and soccer is a pretty big passion of mine. So I totally get it with side to side and football as well. There's got to be a good balance because there's only so much time you can talk about the Jets. You definitely need another stress reliever. So I totally understand that.
For sure.
But guys, let's get into it. I guess do we have to? I guess we have to talk about this guy, right? So yeah, Fitz, I'm gonna start with you. What did you think of the press conference today?
I mean, the guy's a jack off. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I mean, like, what kind of guy shows up to a press conference and is so self-absorbed? This kind of gets into everything that we talk about relative to, are these coaches stubborn with coming in with the game plan that they want to do regardless of whether it's working or not? And he goes and is so self-absorbed that he can't go and sit there and just say, you know what, this is my decision. We got a lot of talent on this field. We want to go and make sure that we have, fresh legs and give everybody an opportunity. That's what he could have said instead of throwing your tackle under the bus and saying, the guy's panting, the guy can't breathe. Like, well, how self-absorbed, self-obsessed do you have to be? Just take the L, own up to it with the press, and defend your players. Couldn't do it. Absolutely pathetic.
I agree. Woody, you're next, buddy. What do you think?
I literally hate agreeing with him, but how can you not? Ulbrich is a bum. I mean, and one thing that I was saying last year is that, we're talking about Zach's rookie year. It's everybody's rookie year. It's Salah's rookie year. It was LaFleur's rookie year. This is Ulbrich's first time as DC. And, there are going to be some busts, right? There's going to be growing pains. Ulbrich, I think he is a bust. He is the Josh Rosen of this rookie class. I'm done with him. There's never a time. There's literally never a time that you go out there in public and talk about one of your star players. I mean, if he said that about LaMarcus Joyner, I mean, I had to agree. But you talk about your star player and being like, oh yeah, if we play him, he's going to be huffing and puffing. That meant what? What do you mean? He's been playing a lion's share of the snaps his whole life. His whole life he's been doing this. And you telling me he's going to be huffing and puffing. Ulbrich, get out of here. That is nonsense. That's literally nonsense. So he's the Josh Rosen. That's all I got to say about that.
Man, oh my goodness. Wow. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're starting off hot. I love it. I love the comments back and forth. Sean Bennett, welcome to the show. Appreciate you, buddy. Your system is narcissistic. Yes, I agree with that. And then he belongs with Commanders. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh, hey, you know what? Hey, when you know, right? When you know, you know. Overall, so here's my take on this, right? So I think when it comes to Ulbrich, Quinnen Williams, he's been on a winning team before. He played for Alabama in college. In high school, he loves playing for his high school coach. What brought him to Alabama. He knows how to win. He knows how to get the job done. And I still believe that he can be one of the best defensive tackles in the game. I think he has potential to be a top 5. But, man, he's not going to play for the Jets any longer if this keeps coming up. Because even though they just got him on the 5th year, they picked up his 5th year, that doesn't mean crap. So I think if they got it, this Steelers game, they have got to address this. Have to. And overall, his brother's there. You wanted to keep him happy, right? You bring in Quincy Williams to make him happy. Just keep the man happy. Don't be switching this crap in and out. We hardly get to see Jacob Martin and then Clemens. We hardly got to see Clemens, and he beasted it up in the preseason. So I hope things change. I hope things continue, that we can go 2-2. If we go 2-2 this week, I'm going to ask you this question next. If we go 2-2 this weekend, do you think that changes our season?
I think
Vince, I'll start with you.
I think it changes the season to the extent where it keeps us competitive. Like it's going to keep us competing for a wild card. You know, we just recorded Take Flight Talk earlier today, and we were looking at the schedule for the upcoming games. I mean, we got a tough schedule outside of the Steelers, and you know we've got the Broncos and the Bears in the next like 6 weeks, and the rest are tough, man. So if we're going up against Mitch Trubisky, there is no reason why we do not win this game. We need to win this game. It's not a matter of want or should. We need to win this game. You've got your quarterback back. You went and played around with some funky play calling for the last 3 weeks. Well, you're probably not expecting to win the games anyway. You better have found a balance, and you better implement it correctly this Sunday. Because I'll tell you what, if we have another defensive performance like we've had, you know, the past few weeks, I mean, we're going from old bridge to old broke pretty quickly. I mean, this is bad. Like, we need to clean things up. Safety play is no good. I don't believe that our safeties are really that bad. I think they're just in the wrong place. They're not being utilized correctly. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Jordan Whitehead was supposed to be a stud coming into this team, and we really haven't seen exactly that. I think he's had some very good plays, but then he also goes and doesn't wrap when he tackles.
Amen.
How? And it's just like,
I know.
So there's a lot's got to change with this team before, you know, and this is my last fear, is if we go and win this game, you know, say we go and pull this off and we have the same game plan that we've had the past few weeks, does this give the confirmation bias? Like, oh, we've won 2 games, you know, doing this system, playing this way, rotating out the D line, throwing the ball way too much. Is that going to give them confirmation bias, or could a loss potentially make them collapse and say, all right, we're starting fresh here? I think there's value with both, but, you know, we need to win games, and I think we got to do that, whatever it costs.
I agree, Fitz. Hey, Woody, does that upset you that you're agreeing with him, or is that just normal for you?
Well, no, that last statement actually kind of blew my mind about this confirmation bias. You know, should I be rooting for a loss right now? Because that is a very good point. I feel like all of these guys are just so stubborn. They're just like, I want my players and I want to do it my way. Hey, you know, we got Denzel Mims. He's pretty good. No, we didn't draft him. I'm gonna play Jeff Smith. Like, yo, what are you talking about? Yo, what do you mean? What do you mean? Oh no, we're gonna cut Jason Pinnock for no damn good reason. Stop, bro. Stop. So I just feel like they are stuck in their way, and confirmation bias, that would suck. But what would it do for this whole team if Zach Wilson can come in and they get the dub the right way, all right? Not with, you know, the luckiest onside missing extra point. Like, if they could actually get a legitimate win with Zach at the helm, I mean, that's big for this young team. This young team, they need wins. You know, we can't have a losing mentality. We have so many winners on the roster that are trying to translate that to the league. I think if we do, to answer your original question, 2-2, does that change the season? Hell yes, it does. Because going into the season, I was saying we were about to start 0-4, you know, finish with like 6 wins, you know, hopefully Zach improves. But 2-2, 4 games in, I mean, we're going to compete. You never know. We can't even say like, oh, we're definitely going to get smacked by the Dolphins. I mean, in my survivor pool, I put the Chiefs beating the Colts thinking that was a lock, and now your boy's out. All right, I have not survived. So it's you can't look at it that way. 2-2 means we got a competitive ball club, and it definitely changes things.
I couldn't agree more, fellas. And also, let's get to the comments before I tell my opinion. Mr. Simon, welcome to the show. Back on track with Zach. Let's start to look at a functioning offense. Now, defense, please help us. Amen. Sean, I know, right? Sean, you don't play your best. No, not Sean. My bad. From Sean, you don't play your best defensive players for just 40% of the snaps. His agent must be livid. Oh, yeah, I would be. I would be furious. This is a must-win as close as there is one.
Yep.
Yes. And overall, it's Trubisky. I mean, he didn't really do much with the Bears. He did okay with the Bills. This is a quarterback that we should win against. Now, Jacoby Brissett, you can make the argument all you want with Jacoby with the Colts. He did pretty well there, but overall, I even knew he was going to be tough a little bit. Trubisky, I'm not worried about. So that's when we need to get it together. Sean with another one. Then Flacco's putting our best wide receiver in vulnerable catch positions. Garrett was almost injured twice. Yeah, but here's the thing about that one, Sean, and I agree with you. But the thing is, when you look at OTAs and when you look at training camp, Flacco's guys were Wilson and Garrett Wilson and Conklin. You can see through the most of those guys. Wilson, that was Flacco's guys, but Zach Wilson's guys were Berrios, Davis, Moore, and then Uzama. They did a lot throughout OTAs and training camp, so I'm not surprised that Flacco went to those two guys more than the other guys. But now, since Zach Wilson's back, I think it's going to be flipped. I think we're going to see more and more in there, and I think things are going to turn a little bit. Now, my question is for you guys, when it comes to the Steelers, TJ Watt, right? That's amazing, right? We don't have to face against him. His backup, we never know what his backup is going to be. Are you worried about that left side? Do you think they're going to stick with McDermott, or you think they're going to put in another guy? What do you think, guys?
Of course I'm worried.
Well, if we heard anything, well, this brings up a good question because I haven't heard – I know we just brought in 2 tackles to the practice squad.
Exactly.
You got to assume that these guys are going to be on the field suited up, at least one of them.
No, they're not. They're not.
Remmers, and Claudio. They brought these two guys.
I heard that they're not going to be called up until next week. They got a – what do you mean?
Exactly.
Like, they got a whole playbook?
Exactly.
Yeah, they got a whole playbook to learn. That doesn't happen in a day.
And Dwayne Brown's expected to be back from IR, not IR. He's going to be expected to be back next week, so that's good. But who would you play? Fant's going to be out until probably week 8. So I don't know. What do you think, Vince?
I don't know. I think the left side's definitely going to be a problem. And I mean, this is something we got to talk about too. I mean, I was probably one of the most excited people on the planet when we pulled in Laken Tomlinson in the offseason. The guy's a Pro Bowler. The guy's supposed to be good. The guy's had a 40 PFF rating for the past couple of games. The guy's been playing terrible. And that's when you bring in a veteran, and we actually moved Elijah Vera Tucker for him, and Elijah Vera Tucker's flourishing. Our right side is really pretty. Max Mitchell, he's stepped up. He's playing significantly better than expectations. But what's killing me is a left guard position that really should have been on paper the best position on our line coming into this offseason is really not doing so well, and that's an issue. And when you don't have that as a supporting cast, as a left tackle who's not supposed to be in the field, probably not even supposed to be on a practice field, he comes in there, and then now, what does he feels like he's got double work? He's got to help out Laken Tomlinson a little bit. It's a problem, and I don't think that the left tackle, as much as I think McDermott stinks, he's really not getting any favors by his partner in crime there, Laken Tomlinson, and that's a tough burden to fill as a fill-in left tackle. So we'll see.
I mean, it's the chicken or the egg, though. Is it, Tomlinson? Is it the left tackle having to carry over for Tomlinson, or is it Tomlinson trying to carry over for George Fant, who had one leg all year? I think it's a little bit of both. When we get Dwayne and he's healthy, I think we're going to see a huge improvement. But that's not this week, right? Hopefully that's next week. I think that's the expectation, or one of those 2 vets, right? We'll start plugging and playing guys in. Maybe one of them will beat out Mitchell. It's okay if it doesn't, because Mitchell has been doing well. Sean, I see you in the comments. We can praise Mitchell's play. He's been doing work. But
I was getting there, Sean.
But for the tackle, I mean, Connor McDermott, I mean, the experience of walking just through a doorway, that's like what it is to rush against Connor McDermott. I said it on Take Flight Talk. I'm saying it here again. He is not good at all. The thing is, though, I think that's a bigger problem with Flacco than it is with Zach. Zach, what he showed us that last, 6 – and I hate hyping up the last 6 games of last year. I really do.
Yeah.
But during that time, he had such better pocket presence where he was actually able to evade rushes and evade, like whenever the pocket actually broke down, you saw him getting out. He was breaking loose. He was throwing it on the slinging it just so nice on the run, or running 55 yards for a touchdown against Jacksonville. So I am worried, obviously I don't want him to get hit, but I think he has the skill set. That's what they said the knee's 100%, right? They waited an extra 3 weeks because the knee's 100%. So that boy better run. He better run.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing about going to Mitchell, what we were talking about with Sean, I know Abby said, I'm not worried about Tomlinson. I'm not worried either. He just needs someone better right next to him. And then I wasn't even high on Becton. I thought he was injury prone in May. You know what? There's just a lot of things going on with that Becton situation. There's the weight issue and his knee issue. And I really don't think the coaching staff was really looking out for him in a way. Just my point of view. I know everyone's got different views on that. But I do want to talk about Mitchell. Mitchell has been a surprise, but in a very good way. But also all the rookies have been better than our players right now. Sauce is beasting it up. JJ's been doing pretty good. And then we have Max Mitchell, who arguably is right there with Sauce right now. Do you take him out if all these other guys come back, like Dwayne? Do you take him out or not? I say no. Stay with the hot hand. What do you think, Fitz?
I think when it comes to something like that, I'm going to trust the coaches on that. I would love a story in which Max Mitchell, when you go back, I mean, the only reason why this guy was on our radar is because we were lucky enough to have our coaching staff be there at the Senior Bowl. If you remember, I remember shortly after this, I remember LaFleur and a few others on staff were all singing Max Mitchell's praises. And I was like, yeah, we're going to probably end up with this kid. And that's a really special closeness that we were able to get. And I don't know how well he would be doing if we didn't have that ahead of time. We had some very intimate notes on him, what he's good at, what he needs to work at. Having that history is helpful. So I think we're able to actually maximize his talents because the coaches know him well. But that being the case, that story with that background, plus if he's able to go and beat out in practice, the guy that we brought in to be a starter, if he's able to beat him out, awesome. That's great. Right. I think it would be disappointing that Dwayne Brown doesn't start because that's why we brought him in. But if he wins that rollout, awesome. And worst case scenario, we're going to have a little bit of depth at a position where we've been very thin at the past few weeks. So I think it's going to be good anyway.
Well, it's felt like we've had a lot of depth at that position. So, hey, I'll tell you right now. And I'll say this. I do trust the coaches, all right? In the offseason, Eddie Pinheiro last year, all right, he went 8 for 8 with his field goal attempts. And then we bring in Greg the Leg for the competition. I was heated. I was mad. When they said they cut Eddie, and Fitz, he had to calm me down. He was like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be don't calm me down. I was so mad. And then in the Ravens game, now he's missing extra point. He's missing the field goal. I'm cursing Fitz out every bad word that I ever learned. I'm looking up new words on the internet, bad words, to call Fitz, right, on the phone. And then what happens? The very next week, he ties the all-time Jets record, right, for longest field goal. He is a key reason why we won that game.
Oh, yeah.
He actually kicked the game-winning extra point. Then this past game, if it wasn't for him, we would have been shut out. But no, we have 4 field goals from Greg the Leg. I do trust their ability to analyze talent. So with Max Mitchell, if it ends up that now he's moved to the bench, I know that it's for the best. I trust. That's where I can trust the staff, where I do think their talent evaluation is on par. And, having him in the depth, knowing that that's who we need to turn to if something does happen, makes me sleep way better at night than Connor McDermott, waiting in the wings. So I think it is almost like a win-win.
I couldn't agree more. You guys are on point. about Max Mitchell. I agree because I'm a big Max Mitchell fan. And also, I don't even know if you guys know, but Mangold was one of the reasons why Mitchell came. Mangold was very, very high on Max Mitchell, and I'm glad that we brought in that kind of presence from
I didn't know
legends
that.
like that, from legends like that. So I'm happy with that. And
That's
also,
great.
Mangold is the one that announced his draft in the UK. So that's pretty cool.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's right.
cool. So that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty dope. I want to talk about this guy. I know everyone is like singing his praises right now. I know everyone is like he's the next coming because Flacco's sucked. There you go, Fitz. I love it. I love it. Zach Wilson, he got injured last year, and they played a really great last 6 games last year. Comes into the offseason, did his little United States tour with all the new guys and current guys. Great. Then he goes in the offseason, gets injured, and now all of a sudden, against the Steelers, this week he says this is the best he's ever felt. He's 100%. So it's kind of thinking like, okay, those last 6 games last year in the offseason, was he like still not that 100%? Was still a little weird? LaFleur said today that he felt weird, and now he's the best he's ever felt. Going off that for Jets guys like we are, do you think he's going to ball out? Do you think he's going to take that next step? What do you guys think?
Well, this is something that we just talked about on Take Flight today too. I think he is a very good quarterback. I think he is going to have a great career in the NFL. I never thought that about Darnold. I never once thought that about Darnold.
Thank you.
Not once, but Zach, I've got a very good feeling about. Now, when we go and look at this, I think it's very important to manage expectations on him. We were saying this before. I mean, this guy, he hasn't been on the field working out with his guys for the last 6 weeks. You got to assume, how is he spending those 6 weeks? He's probably staying, the best he can, staying fit, staying, working out. But you got to assume he's in the film room like crazy. Remember last season, Salah had to kick him out of one Jets drive because he's watching tape till 2:00 in the morning. And I think that's a great way to be. So if he's able to go and channel that energy that he had last season, because we haven't really heard a ton of notes on him on obsessing over film and stuff this year. They've already said it. They don't have to every time that they see it. But if he's still in that mindset and he comes in there and he's ready here, he's ready between the head, he's got his smarts. He's going through progressions well. These wide receivers are getting open like crazy. He does not have to force anything. Hopefully our defense will be able to step up against a horrible quarterback in Mitch Trubisky and not have us need to play hero ball. We don't have to worry too much about having Zach have to throw bombs and throw 50 times, 60 times like they did with Flacco. So hopefully they have a better game plan around him, maximize his ability, a lot more quicker passes. I'd love to see more shotgun. And I think he'll be okay. But I don't think we're going to see the best that he's got to give this season on Sunday. I think it's going to come in a couple weeks. But I'm excited. We brought in all these new weapons for him. They get open. If he's able to be the same guy that he was in that stretch of games last year, at the end of the year we played so well, but then also have all these additional weapons, we could see a pretty solid breakout of him in the next few weeks.
Yeah, definitely can break out. Zach Wilson himself, like on an island, I truly don't know what his ceiling, what his floor is, but I do know one thing: that organizational stability is key for developing quarterbacks. All right. If you look at the quarterbacks that were drafted in the last 5 years, we're talking about like first rounders, right? Guys that were drafted to become the starters of their team. This is the list. This is the list of the quarterbacks who have had the same head coach and offensive coordinator their first 2 years. Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and Joe Burrow. That's it. Well, and now Zach Wilson. That is the list. There is no weak link in that list. There are multiple MVPs. There are multiple Super Bowl participants. That list, it's a very high floor. Even if Zach Wilson comes in and becomes a new floor, I would imagine that he will be pretty successful. He's been able to build upon what he learned his first year, as opposed to, I mean, the list of people who've changed. I mean, we can rattle it off, but you already know a whole bunch of them, right? Baker, Darnold, Daniel Jones, Mitch Trubisky, all these guys to try to learn something from scratch. It doesn't work out a lot of times. There are Justin Herberts who just come out of the blue and, are able to rise above. But there's been nobody in the last 5 years who's been drafted and had that stability that has actually regressed. There's nobody. So for Zach, I am expecting, since not only is it the same playbook, but to Fitz's point, the weapons have gotten better. Like, we know for a fact Garrett Wilson is electric with the ball in his hands. We've already seen Elijah Moore carve up defenses. We've been seeing Tyler Conklin do work. Breece Hall, Michael Carter is still doing work with yards after contact. I mean, it's unbelievable what he has at his disposal. If he could just build upon what he learned. And LaFleur has been saying all offseason that it's about making those simple plays. So that's what I'm hoping to see from Zach. Can he make the simple plays? Are we going to see him tear up Pittsburgh, like prime Aaron Rodgers this Sunday? Probably not. Probably. I would be shocked. I would probably be in a coma because I would be so hyped. But I do think he will have a good season. He'll have a good year. It may take a game or two to get his feet under him. Literally, because he had the injury, but yeah, I think he will have a good career.
I love that. I love your guys' answers, and I agree with you guys. So Mr. Sean said Tua only benefits because of his wide receiver talent. I do agree with that. I mean, Hill and Waddle. That's just a great duo. And then our offense is slightly underrated. I agree, it is slightly underrated. And once we get going, watch out. If we get going. And then if Zach Wilson even ends up as good as Ken O'Brien, I'll be okay.
Hey, Kenny. That's an awesome comment. I love that.
That's a pretty interesting ceiling. And then Tua is solid even before Hill. You know what about Tua, though? I mean, I'm Roll Tide. I'm an Alabama fan. He was great in college. But the pieces that he has around him, I think that's one of the reasons why he is successful. And he had Wesley Walker. Yeah, that's true. Wesley Walker. I mean, that was one of the big reasons why I think he was good as well. But moving on though, LaFleur's offense is good for a mobile quarterback. And I think Zach Wilson can be that mobile guy. He's scrambled. He scored touchdowns by himself last year, and that's why I think Zach Wilson is good for this kind of thing. But then when you go on the defensive side, Ulbricht's defense is only good when you have great safeties. Okay, we all know Joyner's crap. We all know that. And then Jordan Whitehead, it's like he was one of the highest paid defenses, right? That we picked up in free agency, and he hasn't really been doing much. If you can get those guys going and stop switching the front four, I think we're going to be okay. My next question is, going on the defensive side, do you think this is the game that Sauce Gardner gets an interception? Vince, we'll start with you.
I'm going to say no. And the reason I say this is he doesn't get targeted much. He's got like that Revis about him, like this. It's still early. I love this kid. I think this kid is an absolute bona fide stud.
Right.
When it comes to getting a pick, I mean, look at Revis. Revis really didn't have a ton of picks throughout his career because he wasn't thrown to very often, like comparatively to other like higher, intercepting corners. Like he really wasn't that high up there because nobody threw to him. I think this week, we're going up against a wide receiver core that, they got some people to throw to. Obviously George Pickens has even come up. You got Deontay Johnson. You got
I know, right?
Chase Claypool, Pat Fryermuth. I struggle with saying his name.
Fryermuth, yeah.
Fryermuth, yeah.
It's like saying Friar Tuck. It's like saying Friar Tuck.
Yeah, right.
From Robert.
They've got some good guys to throw to, so there's really no reason for them to have to, push the ball, on Sauce if he's leaving receivers unopened. So we'll see what happens. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, but I'm not in a rush for it. If he has 0 interceptions for the whole season, but he plays absolute lockdown, defense, great. Right. Like awesome. Like no problem. So we'll see, but I think it'll come.
I'm going to say, yeah. I'm going to say this is the game that we're going to see a pick from Sauce. Lost in the sauce. Oh, my gosh. Buffalo Wild Wings just has my credit card number on file for the Sauce Wings. I'll tell you right now, what I've seen from Sauce, I feel like his confidence has picked up every single week after week after week, because it's only been 3 weeks. Sauce's confidence has picked up. I mean, the boy was doing Sauce Angels in the field. He was shutting down Jamar Chase. He was talking to him. He was getting Chase all riled up. And one thing that we have been is a pretty solid run defense. I actually imagine that will continue, and they will need to throw to try to convert, 3rd and 8s or 3rd and 7s. And the ball is going to go in a whole bunch of different directions, right? And DJ Reed is no slouch either. So both of them will have opportunities. We've already seen DJ Reed back to grab one. And I think Sauce, his number will get called, and he's ready. Like, he is ready. I feel like he is just getting more and more confident after each game. This could be the first time that we see a pick. I do agree, though, if he ends the season with 0 picks, like it's not like we've already seen the impact. If he plays how he's been playing for the whole season, I think that's a dub in our book. But I mean, his ball skills are undeniable as well. So this could be it.
I love it. I love all the answers. Abby Sean, our good friend right here, gentlemen. Appreciate you coming on. He's no Otis. Dang. And then our defense I agree with our defense being underrated. So guys, I got a fun question to ask you right after this question. Is this a W on Sunday?
Yep.
Is this a W?
Yes.
Woody, this is a W? Here we go. No, I'm just kidding.
Is this a dub? I obviously want it to be a dub. You know what? I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna say no.
That's fair. All right, Fitz is 1. Woody's 1. I'm gonna say. I've been saying wins the last 3 weeks, and I think this is gonna come close again. I think this is gonna come close again. The Steelers coaching staff, Tomlin, what he's done there for the Steelers for years. Yeah, I always when I watch his games are like, oh, he's gonna get blown out, but then he keeps it close. So I think it's gonna be a close game, and I think it's gonna go to overtime. I think the Steelers are gonna win. That's me.
Can I just answer Abby's comment? Because Abby's asking me why. Tell me why, and I'll tell you right now.
Ain't nothing but heartache. Vince, tell me why.
No, I do think, and if it is a close game, I feel like the tie goes to the better coach team, right? The team that's more disciplined. The Jets have been one of the most atrociously undisciplined teams in the NFL. I mean, JFM getting ridiculous penalties. Corey Davis, what are you doing? Like the team is not the well-oiled machine that Mike Tomlin. In a close game, the tie goes to that organization. So I think it's going to be like a 20-17 or, a 20, like one of those, a field goal away from the dub, but I think we do get that loss because we are still working through some kinks. I don't think they fixed it all in a week. And Zach is definitely going to be. I think Zach is going to be rusty. I don't think Zach is going to have a great game actually. And I think the whole fan base is going to be like, "Oh, he sucks. He's a bust. He's a bust," and then they're all going to eat their words by like week 8. But this week, I think Zach's not going to have the best game. And I think the Steelers, well-coached team, are going to do what they need to do, play complementary football, which they've been doing throughout his entire reign as coach. And the Jets will just fall short. That's what I'm thinking.
Hey, I agree with you. I think it's every time when we say all these things on like, hey, Zach Wilson's going to do this. Oh, Flacco's going to come out and just ball. It's like it just hasn't happened. I'm from St. Louis. I'm from the Midwest, guys. I'm a see it to believe it guy. I need to see it, and hopefully we can get back on track. Seriously. So, all right, my last question for you guys, a little fun one. Regarding if you've been to training camp, regardless if you went to an away training camp for the Jets, home game, preseason game, what is the best moment you have seen in your eyes for with the Jets? With the Jets, like I said, it could be training camp, away game, or at MetLife. Favorite moment.
I'm going to paint you guys a beautiful picture here. It was December 27th, 2015.
Poetry?
Oh, you know what? It was poetry that afternoon. December 27th, 2015, Ryan Fitzpatrick beat the Patriots the last time the Jets have beat the Patriots. That was the home game. That stadium was electric. I had seats right about on the 50. I was with my cousin who's a Jets fan, my cousin who's a Patriots fan. We're not sure if it's by blood. And we're sitting there, and my cousin, he's talking all day. Oh, Patriots are going to whoop your ass. And what happens? We get to overtime. Belichick, there's a miscommunication about the coin flip. They kick the ball first. We get the ball. Fitz to Quincy down the left sideline. And then we had Eric Decker with the touchdown. Fireworks go off. Right. Just emotion to be able to be 1-0 against the Patriots. We want to beat the Patriots. Hook me up with some tickets. I got the magic. And we can go 2-0 against the Patriots if we get me over there. But yeah, hands down, best Jets moment of my life.
Well, Godfather Fitz is coming in clutch here. So what do you think? What do you think, Woody?
Well, hey, I mean, if you buy me a ticket, you better just give it to Fitz because I'm actually 0-6 at MetLife. I have no great memories in person with the Jets, but I still love them. I still,
This is why he's so negative. This is why he's so negative all the time. He ain't seen him win in person.
hey! I still love my team. I'm still loyal, but I see
we ride or die. There's no bandwagon Jets fans. Okay, there's no bandwagon Jets fans.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. And when we took flight last week, and you guys said that the Bengals were gonna lose. I was the only one that was like, you guys were saying the score was going to be like 30-27. I was like, I don't know. Joe Flacco, he's not good. I mean, hey, sometimes, the grass is greener on the other side. Sometimes you just got to smoke. I don't even know what I was about to say. All I know is that I haven't had any great memories in person. Not yet. But you must believe when we win the Super Bowl in like 2035, I'll be at the parade.
Man, so my story is I was a flag guy for the St. Louis Rams when I was working for the Rams in St. Louis, and the Jets came into town, and that's when we had a great team. And I was a flag guy right there, and I was mistakenly cheering for the Jets. And this is when I was like in the closet Jets fan. No one knew. And Jets fans, so 9 years old, no one knew. And I was cheering for the wrong team, almost got fired, worth it. We won, so I was like, okay, this is good. But it was really cool. That was a good moment. But on TV, definitely Decker's touchdown, 100%. I was screaming inside, outside. My mother was like, here, you need to eat. Come get some pasta. Let's go eat. And then I went to MetLife for the first time. Great experience. Like, it was great, but we lost badly. And so like I said, I'm going with Woody. Not yet, baby. Not yet. So I agree with it. Guys, thank you for being on my first Happy Hour Thursday show with Italy Jet. Check out their shows. You guys can plug whatever you want right now, and let's do it.
Yeah, follow us at take_flight_talk on Instagram. I am at TFT Fitz, and Woody is at S2S Woody.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to change my name right now so that you guys see it. That's our IG handle. Okay. On YouTube, we are also the Take Flight Talk channel. Yeah, you know, we're just talking just like this, right? It's just a good time amongst Jets fans. You know, he's yelling at me. I'm calmly explaining to him why he's wrong. And then we go from there.
Yeah, it's just like that. Just like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Me and Liam, I'm the positive one in this relationship with Liam. So he's usually the more of the hothead, and I'm the calm one. But it's okay. It's a good dynamic. You guys got a good dynamic. Me and Liam got a good dynamic. One of them's got to be up here. One of them's got to be down here. It's what works. It's good shows. It's good shows. Guys,
what people want.
Yeah, we got it. I mean, when you're a Jets fan and you don't, and if you agree on everything, I kind of question that a little bit. That's just me, though. But guys, thank you for all the comments. I appreciate everyone's support. Me and Liam will be back tomorrow night for a preview of the Steelers and Jets. Hopefully, let's get a winner. And guys, I'm just gonna be real frank with you. I love this logo. I think you guys should stick with this logo. I know you guys gave me two, but I like this one.
I like it too.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
we're under construction right now, but that's Woody put that together as a temporary thing, but I think it's pretty freaking fire too.
I agree. Guys, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook,
Yo,
Twitter, and
John, it's all good. It's all good.
You can follow me at Italy Jet. Appreciate you guys, social media, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good night, everybody.
Night,
Love
guys.
you.